Right then, 5 things that we learned watching United book our place in the next round of the FA Cup with that win against Everton at Old Trafford. First up, it's Marcus Rashford, absolutely unplayable. The man cannot be stopped at the moment. He is in the form of his life. He's got 13 goals and 6 assists this season, 5 goals and 3 assists in his last 5, which is bonkers numbers. He's the first Manchester United player to score in 7 consecutive games in all competitions at home since Wayne Rooney managed it between February and April in 2012. Seems like he's actually harnessing that world-class potential that we knew he always had. Absolute constant goal threat, oozing confidence. He really is the main man at United right now. That's it. There's no two ways around it. He is. Number 2, Antony's mixed bag. So he got on the score sheet, did well to get on the end of Marcus Rashford assist. But again, another frustrating half from him. And too passive, too sloppy, not enough conviction or directness in his play. There was lots of opportunities where it looked like there was space in behind the fullback, and he just didn't want to take him on. He just didn't. He wanted to come back, play it back in, or try and get involved with a little bit of 1 and 2 touch. Didn't want to just run at him. And that's why I think Garnacho and Marcus look good at the moment, because they do want to run at their defenders and they're being effective when they run at their defenders. Antony might benefit from Sancho coming back in the team, putting a little bit of pressure on him. Because at the moment, it seems like he's coasting. He needs a little bit of a kick up the arse, I think, to show us what... Again, we know there's ability in there, but we really need to see him start showing it, I think. He did play with a little bit of tenacity and intensity. It's just... the quality wasn't there, in my opinion. Number 3, Martínez returned. He got a couple of minutes against Bournemouth. This felt a bit more of a fuller return. Didn't put a foot wrong. It was very easy for him as usual. He's been a rock for us all season. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get minutes, I don't think, against Charlton, ahead of being ready for facing Manchester City. We are just better all around when he plays. He helps us, and we need him fully implemented back in the back four. The reunion of Martínez and Varane is what we need to see. I think. I'll talk about this in the next one actually. Because number 4, shakier defence, and I don't necessarily think this is a slight on the players. I think Shaw's looked good at centre half, and he's in good form. And by and large, he's really adding to the team when he plays. I think there's a couple of errors in him. I think where he chooses to engage in duels are a little bit high up the pitch for a centre half, and I think that a good tactical manager is going to draw him out of that position and exploit the space that he leaves behind him if he was to continue playing at centre half. I think he will go back to being on the left now Martínez is sober. And I also think Everton played into this a little bit. One thing about Frank Lampard's teams is they're shocking on the transition. They're so bad on the transition that it looks like they haven't got a fucking clue what's going on. But they do flood forward in numbers, and they're direct with it as well. And that can cause you a problem. It can cause you a problem specifically if you're playing high up the pitch like United do. And I think we've been keeping clean sheets for fun. But there was times that Everton rattled us. They got opportunities. There's been a couple of times when last-ditch defending and last-ditch saves from De Gea have bailed us out. He made a couple of mistakes today. One he got away with because the goal was disallowed. And the other one, don't hold on to your post. I don't know what you're doing that for. Need to be careful, because those little lapses in concentration against Arsenal coming up, Barcelona coming up, and Manchester City coming up, they're teams that'll make you pay and then not let you back in to fix that mistake. Everton are shit, so they're going to let you back in. That's why you get away with it against the likes of Everton. But you've got to be better than that against other teams. And number 5, fortress. Old Trafford is becoming a fortress again, like it's meant to be. I think, obviously we've now won 7 consecutive games, first time since January 19. Ollie's first 7 games as interim manager. 8th consecutive win at Old Trafford. Different energy in the stadium. Home form is a sign of a great team. I think one of the things about... we take the piss out of this golden era of Liverpool, but it has been a pretty successful era for them. And one of the things that they had was unbelievable home form in that time. And if United can replicate that, we'll win trophies. We might even retain some, which no, they didn't do. But I think it's a great form. We look good. We look strong. We look like we compose. We look like we know what we're here to do. We look like we're capable of achieving it. And it's a good time to be a United fan at the moment. We've got the opportunity now to play in numerous different competitions over the next few weeks. And I think we're capable of progressing in all of them. I'm sure it'll come on stock at some point. And I think the dire need to get a striker in is a dire need. But I'm pretty relaxed about it because this season was never about being in a title challenge. This season was about setting us up to challenge going forward, to be a transitional season to set us up for success later down the line and find out if Ten Hag is the real deal. And guess what? He's a real deal. Subscribe. See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.